Hi, I'm Liz from Curriculum Design at Yeti Academy. In this highlight tour, we are going to take a look at our middle school digital citizenship curriculum. Let's face it, every student in every school needs to learn about digital citizenship. Unfortunately, most students just are not interested. Well, we'd like to change that here at Yeti Academy with the introduction of our sports PR agency module. So let's take a look at some of the types of lessons that students will see within that course. Here you can see I've selected one of my classes. I'm going to select this sample student, and we are going to log in as that student. That brings us to the student dashboard. You can see some of the courses that have been loaded into that student's account, and we are going to select Sports PR Agency. Now, the premise behind Sports PR is that students are going to work in a virtual public relations company. Within this company, they will manage athletes and help them to understand the impact and the etiquette that surrounds digital influence, or more importantly, positive digital influence. So as an agent for their athletes, the students will create original artifacts and explore topics like those that you see here. A lot of those being really great real world topics like completing job applications and resumes, e-portfolios, and also real world writing, like writing emails and business letters and memos and things like that. So let's take a look at that first concept. You'll see these yellow stars. These indicate that the lessons have been completed. Those stars that are shaded show the lessons that haven't been done yet. Any lesson that's already been completed can go back, students can go back and review these. So we'll take a look here. The first tab that you see on the top is engaged. Now, each of these tabs represent the 7 student modalities that are included within this lesson. The first activity, engage, is a warm-up activity. These are going to vary. They can be all types of things. Students might complete a crossword puzzle, or maybe they will read an article and write one line in response. Maybe they'll answer a couple questions or develop a quiz question. These vary a lot based on the activity. This one includes an original video that we've created. In these videos, teens discuss digital citizenship topics using their own words. They're very relatable. They feature a very wide cast of teens kind of talking about their own personal experiences. This engage activity also includes instructions. So students are directed exactly what to do. And for turning those assignments in, they might mark them complete. Maybe they will answer a question or submit an artifact electronically through here. So let's move on to the next modality, the second tab here, and that's explain. This is our reading portion where students read a succinct portion of text. It also includes summary ideas and some vocabulary words. In addition, there are another look questions that might be assigned to students, or perhaps teachers would like to use these as class discussion prompts or as just a really easy formative assessment. This has been finished, so we can click to the next tab. Now we're moving through these and can look at these in any order because they've been completed. But as students are working on the activities, they cannot advance to the next tab until the one that they're working on is complete. So Empower is a review type area. So students can review in a couple ways. They can click on the flashcard icon. That's going to bring up a flashcard that gives them the answer on the back. From here, students can decide how well they know this. If they don't know it at all, or somewhat know this and click on it, it will go back into the stack of cards and they will see it again. if an athlete, or I'm sorry, if a student knows the answer, they can click, I know this, and that way they won't see the card again until they've gone through all of the cards remaining. After they've spent some time on review with flashcards, students can go in and take a quiz game. This does have sound that can be turned on or off. You see students have a timer here. They have 30 seconds to answer this question. It's not graded, so it doesn't matter if they run out of time, but they're going to choose the best answer from those offered. And you can see their score is added to the leaderboard. There's only one student in this class, so that's why they're at the top of the leaderboard. For every question that a student answers correctly, they're going to get streak points. So that the next question is worth more. Anytime that they miss a question, their streak points go back to 0, but they can still continue to gain points for the next questions. So that is Empower, and that wraps up day 1. Let's move on to the day 2 lesson. Again, we have Engage, our warm-up activity. This is a different type activity. Here, students are working in a group to compose a potential PR misstep. Then they're going to use these steps to help figure out how they'll handle that mistake. And they're going to share their scenario and their solution with the class. This has been completed. We can move on to the next activity. The next tab is Elaborate. In this modality, students often do a hands-on or a computer-based activity. They may be asked to complete an original artifact. In this situation, they are creating a poster using Google Drawings, talking about public relations and explaining what that is. It gives some turn-in instructions, and it's been completed. So we can move to the next tab. This tab is Evaluate. It's already been taken, but this is a formative self-assessment. Students can take this, they get immediate feedback to gauge their level of understanding of the lesson. They can always go back in after they've taken the test and review their answers so they can see those that they got right and then any that they've missed. The final tab in day 2 is Explore. This is a perfect one for early finishers. Clicking on this flashcard icon will show them some videos, some articles, things that are either directly or indirectly related to the lesson. That wraps up day 2. Moving on to day 3. Day 3 shows our final tab or student modality, which is Enrich. Enrich activities can be assigned to the whole class, or they might be reserved for early finishers. Maybe those students who need a little extra time on practice or review, they might not be assigned this Enrich activity, but these give excellent opportunities for science and engineering practices. Students might be directed to complete a model, or maybe they're going to do some research and a presentation, or maybe they'll just be asked to communicate information in a creative way. Again, there are steps included on how to complete this, and you can see that this has already been completed by this student. So those are the types of activities that students might see within a lesson. Let's go back to the administrator side so we can take a look at a couple things there. This is the class that we were working in. You can see our students listed here. Students can be assigned to teams if you would like, and roles can be assigned within those teams. Maybe you want a student to serve as team lead. You can assign that role to them here, but it's not required. This is optional. Class Pulse is really cool. It can be used to check students' level of understanding with assignments, but what I really like it for is that idea of social and emotional learning. We can check in with our students, put a start date, an end date. We can follow up with them, and they can let us know how they're feeling about an assignment or just about how things are going. Curriculum will show you the different options as far as curriculum available at Yeti Academy. In gradebook, we need to select the class, which is again, Sports PR Agency, and we can see our student here and how they're progressing through the course. We can also take a look at an activity log, both for the class or for individual students, and you can see where our student has logged in and made some progress. The settings tabs allows us to really specialize. We can choose when our class meets. We can add some other settings to it. The thing that I want to show you here is kudos. We can allow students to send positive messages to other students in class. These are canned responses, so it's not something that the students are writing themselves, but it's just a fun way for them to send an encouragement to a classmate. So after we make any changes here, we need to click update, and you can see that our settings have been updated. So the last thing that I'd like to show you here is back in curriculum. And again, we're going to go back to the same class that we've been working in, our Sports PR Agency, clicking on lessons. So here we're going to look at the student side of things. You saw this, I'm sorry, the teacher side of things. You saw this on the student dashboard, but let's go in and look at it on the teacher side. Here we have the option of locking assignments if we'd like, which is a good idea so students aren't going through lessons that you don't want them to do. But what I really want you to take a look at here is the teacher resources. This should have everything that the teacher needs for teaching these classes, and it's all organized by lesson. Also included here are standards. For this course, we have ISTE standards, which is the International Society for Technology and Education, as well as Common Core standards in listening, speaking, and writing. If you need help getting started in Yeti Academy, our Solutions Center has excellent videos and articles that you can take a look at. Also, check out our YouTube channel with some great information. Thank you so much for exploring Yeti Academy, an all-inclusive STEM education program.